Hi, everyone. Kelly Jean here, your nutritionist and your total wellness life coach. And I help people lose weight the healthy way and keep it off for a lifetime. And I also help people reverse chronic conditions, naturally balance hormones, and thrive. And mainly I work with people 40 and up, but I also work with teens and the younger population as well. I'm super excited because today I have a client that is willing to share her experience with all of you and, her progress, how she came to me with certain issues and where she's at now. The progress is amazing. And I love this when my clients are willing to come on and share, their experience so that hopefully you're going to feel inspired. If any of you out there are suffering from any of the issues that Tracey has been dealing with over the course of the years, then, hopefully you're going to feel some hope from her story. Tracey, thank you so much for coming on.
Hi.
Yay.
Thank you.
Tracey and I worked together years ago, right, Tracey? Yeah. And
In
that was
2011.
originally for, just really wanting to lose some weight and really stabilize your blood sugar and know how to do that with nutrition. That's where we started a long time ago. And then, so things have changed over the years. So now that was how many years ago? I think it was like what?
About 8 or 9 years ago. It was in 2011.
Yep. And so here we are today. You reached out recently, and just for those of you to just kind of get an idea, I'll let Tracey really share the challenges that she has faced for all these years. And
right.
Gosh, she was really met with a very unusual trauma back in that really started this whole snowball of just unbelievable challenges health-wise. So do you want to talk about that real briefly and quickly? I know that's kind of a hard thing to do because there's so much.
Sure. So what has happened is about in 2006, I experienced a medical emergency of a spinal cord infection. And that infection left me disabled in my spine. And I, in a lot of pain, chronic pain constantly. So I went from being extremely active and athlete and doing anything, no fear, to basically bedbound. Well, my pain was so bad, and it just took a really long time to find the right doctors, and I eventually had surgery. But before that, I was gaining weight. I didn't feel good. The trauma from everything, it really took everything out of me. So when I found you the first time, Kelly Jean, you helped me get healthy, and you taught me, you educated me, and you taught me how to eat, and you taught me the right things to eat, and
getting in that rhythm and flow of eating in a way that really kept your glucose, your blood sugar levels nice and,
that's right,
normal, and really getting the body into homeostasis. That's sort of the foundation of what I do with nutrition. And that's what you really benefited from back then. Yeah.
And the whole time. And so, my health has been pretty good. And I haven't had any weight issues, and I eat normal now. But then through time, when I had my back surgery, doctors start prescribing medication. So first it's the pain medication. And then after a little bit of time, I don't feel well. So let's give you a medication for this and a little medication for that. And before you know it, I had just a whole row of different medications I was taking. And I wasn't feeling any better. And in fact, was getting worse. And my last blood test revealed that maybe some of my organs were struggling. And that's what you and I found out. And so through that, I also was having a medical emergency this summer. I guess we forgot about that small detail. But what happened was a doctor prescribed me thyroid medicine, thinking that I had a thyroid problem, when really what you and I found out, it's more my adrenals, and it wasn't my thyroid, but I had an allergic reaction or an adverse reaction to it, and it made me deathly ill and ending up in the hospital. Because
of the medications that you were on and that levothyroxine, they collided. They actually had an adverse reaction from the combinations.
So it just made me so sick.
Yeah.
And the symptoms didn't go away. The symptoms were just out of control, sweating and nervousness and racing heart. So my doctor sent me to a cardiologist, an endocrinologist, and all these different doctors for all these different tests, and not one doctor was able to help me. And that's when I finally thought, I've got to call Kelly Jean, because she was the one that helped me before. She can help me again. If anybody can figure this out, it's you. And then, of course, within a few minutes of talking, after I told you my symptoms, my medications that I'm taking, you nailed it right away and started asking about my levels of my thyroid blood levels. And when we figured out that it's possibly this thyroid medicine, I stopped the medicine. It took about 2 weeks for those symptoms to go away, the intense sweating and heart issues. Mm-hmm. But then we started eating right. And the difference between then and now, which has only been a few weeks, is tremendous, because, mm-hmm. you know, when you first saw me, I wasn't even able to get up or get out of bed or walk around. And now I'm up and moving around and more active, and I feel good inside.
Oh, I mean, you look great too. I mean, it's unbelievable, the difference. I mean, from the first time it's incredible, really, how fast the body really does respond. You know,
it has responded extremely well.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, you know, I think what you're really trying to kind of bring out is not that we are, you know, down talking there's a place for Western medicine for sure. However, there's this trap that you got into with Western medicine, which was being bombarded by medication after medication, where in fact there's so many other things that could be addressed first naturally. You know, like for instance, your thyroid wasn't so bad. Your TSH was really not bad enough to where it's like, okay, you need levothyroxine right now. It's more, but your adrenal fatigue is what we're really looking at. And so that is what needs to be addressed. And then, you know, really helping the thyroid be able to like take, you know, not take, in other words, you know, the thyroid, when the adrenals are exhausted, starts to pick up the slack. And that's when you're going to start to see the thyroid get compromised, you know, when in fact, really what needs to be addressed is nurturing and nourishing and rebuilding the adrenals, you know, and get them strong again. So, you know, we did the functional blood analysis too. So the first thing we did was started to get your nutrition back in order. I think you swayed a little bit off track, I think nutritionally too. Well, who wouldn't if they're on so much medication? You're not even like in your right mind sometimes, right? Plus you weren't able to make your own meals and right?
Well, yeah, I lost my appetite. I had no appetite whatsoever. And I could go all day long and not even feel hungry.
Wow. Yeah.
So something was definitely not right. And
yeah. So yeah, we had to get you eating again, eating the right ways, you know, blood sugar stabilizing again, and really starting to, you know, help your liver too. Your liver is really, really right now sluggish, and it's because of all the medications and all that it's had to deal with, right? So we're also supporting your liver, getting your D3 levels up. We saw that your D3 was down, right? That's going to have a lot to do with people's energy and, you know, how they feel mentally, emotionally, and physically, right? So getting that squared away. Your proteins I saw were low. We need to get your total proteins up. And really just starting to nurture those adrenals. And we're moving into really getting some supplements that are going to be really good for you based on everything that you're dealing with, and that are going to start to nourish the adrenal glands.
Calming. A lot of calming. I feel more centered. I don't feel like I'm jumping out of my skin all the time.
Yep. You're titrating down. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Huh? Oh, the nervousness that I was feeling inside. Everything. Yeah, I was on about a total of, I think they had me on about 9 different medications. And now I'm down to 3 medications. And then the medications have to be titrated, and I can't just stop those. So those have dropped from I think I was up to 120 milligrams, and now I'm down to 50 or 60 milligrams. So
right, because I think it's important for people to know that you're in a lot of pain a lot of times because of the
yeah,
fusion of your spine and all the surgery. I mean, it's like there's no doubt that you have been. However, what's great about you is that from all the years that we were not, in each other's lives, you found hemp oil and you found cannabis. You found a way to naturally also deal with the pain in that way. So you've been applying
mhm,
that and
mhm.
found really good sources of it. And that's
Hemp oil is amazing. Yes.
when it's the right source. You've got to get the right kind. You did your research on that.
And yeah, don't fall into all the marketing traps out there. Yeah, you got to be really careful.
Yep. And so that's awesome. And so that's enabled you also to titrate down off the pain meds. And then we're going in and we're, really starting to get your liver built back up again, get your adrenals, fill in the deficiencies, and that's what we're doing right now, and getting your nutrition really, really supporting everything as well, and blood sugar stabilized. And so, I mean, this is just 3 weeks. And also let's talk about your sleep, which you weren't.
That's a huge one.
But that's because of the adrenal fatigue and the cortisol spiking, and that happens. It'll spike in the middle of the night, and basically you are tired but wired, and that's the way it goes.
An interesting point, because PTSD, I was diagnosed with PTSD, and a lot of people with PTSD have problems sleeping, and it's amazing that I'm actually dreaming again, and it feels good, and I wake up feeling like I just had a restful night's sleep.
Yay! I know, I love it.
Before, it was 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning before I could even fall asleep, and then I'm just so exhausted the next day that I can't function. So
exactly.
It feels really good to be sleeping again.
And what that does is it just completely goes against anything we're trying to do. That's why that's one of the first things I do as well with my clients is get them sleeping. We got to get the sleep dialed in. Just have to. And so it's really finding out why that person is not sleeping. And that's kind of what I have to do in the beginning, because not everybody's insomnia is because of the same reasons, but we found out what yours was. And yes, it was the cortisol spike in the middle of the night. So there's things that we've done to pull the cortisol down. And it is absolutely, making all the difference in the world, so that you're now able to sleep throughout the night. Like you said, you're dreaming again, which is phenomenal. And I'm so excited because, you look incredible, and you can tell when a person is rested,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I still think I need more rest, but I'm on my way.
Yeah. Of course, you got a lot of making up to do.
Yeah. I think that I'm well on my way.
Absolutely. So,
but I love resting now, where before I would be so antsy and so nervous that just to relax was a difficult thing for me to do.
Your body's more grounded now. It's more in homeostasis.
And now I can put some headphones on and I can relax, some meditation music or whatever, and really feel good, instead of thinking about 12 different things at the same time while I'm trying to meditate. So,
I love it.
Just a whole balance.
The progress is outstanding. I am just amazed at how you jumped on with me here and have just literally taken all of the information and you're like making it happen. You've got a beautiful, significant other, beautiful man in your life who has stepped in and truly supports you all the way as well. So you've got all the, the help that you need too with meal preps and things like that. And I think that you actually hired a woman to come in, and she's a dream and an angel, because the truth is that your body is still, there's a lot of atrophy still in, in the muscles in the body, so there's not like, you're not able to stand for long periods of time because of the pain.
And I am legally disabled in my spine.
Right.
So I don't have the ability to stand for long periods of time or do long activities. But what's happening now is not only am I feeling stronger, but physically, but mentally too. And then having the little bit of support around it really helps.
Yeah, it helps a lot. You needed that. And that's beautiful.
It was a little too much at first.
The next step that we'll do is we're going to be doing fitness and, really helping you understand how to address getting the muscles and getting all of the intrinsic tissues in the body, connective tissues and all of that, stimulated again in a way that isn't going to injure you whatsoever. And that's like a very delicate, that's like, we're going to have, that's going to be that has to be done very carefully. And so there'll be a lot of isometric type of fitness that we're going to do with you. And that's going to start to, stimulate muscle growth. And then also, bring in a foundational strength in you that needs to start happening based on how much atrophy has gone on, from not being able to really get up and around and moving. And so that'll be the next step. And it's just beautiful. It's like, this has just been a fantastic journey, and you're such an inspiration. You really are, Tracey. And I have had it's been the greatest blessing working with you.
Thank you.
You got a beautiful heart. You got a great attitude. You're, extremely optimistic and just really on board with everything. And just a warrior with your health. And I always tell my clients, you got to, put your war paint on. You got to be a warrior with your health. And it's, that was told to me many years ago when I had to heal my body. A naturopathic doctor looked at me and said, yeah, get your war paint on, girl. You got to be a warrior with your health. Because I had to restore my health too. I wasn't well back in the, late 90s. So
it's amazing when you go to a doctor and you expect help. You expect them to have an answer to what you're not why you're not feeling well, and the first thing that they want to do is write a script. And I know better, and I know food is medicine, and I know from when we worked before everything that you've taught me, and I knew that putting all this medicine in my body was poisoning it. And I really didn't want to do that anymore. And I knew that you, of all people, I knew you, because I know a lot of health coaches and health nutritionists. I know a lot out there, but you are the only one that I do trust.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tracey. Yeah, I think your point is really very important for so many out there, as far as, just resigning to the Western world of medicine and just, accepting medication after medication without really first trying to do, look and see if there are some things that can be done naturally and alternatively.
That's right.
The body's ready to, perform for us. And it's really about getting into supporting it from a very foundational place. And once we do that, it will absolutely, transform. It just will. And things will shift. So there's a place for medication. I mean, we know that, but there's a way too much of it.
Yeah, it was great when I had to have surgery and stuff. But what I want to say about you, Kelly Jean, is that you do a really good job educating us. And there's not very much information out there, and to, sure, they tell you to try this, take that, but nobody explains why. And you go with the whys. And so for everything that we're doing, I always get a why, an answer to the reason and purpose for everything.
It's great.
So I trust everything when it comes to my health. I trust it with you.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And that's kind of how I've always been myself. I have to know why I'm doing something, or it's not going to be very meaningful. And I'm not going to really, I'm not going to be apt to make it a lifestyle if I don't really know what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. And so that's why I try to give that to my clients, or I make sure that, because it is true too, you do need to be educated on your body as to why. The more you learn, now you're going to be the master of your own health, where you don't need going forward down the line, right? You're going to be able to you'll know so many things, and your tendencies, your little weak spots, but you also will know how to get your sleep dialed in. You're going to know, how to address your fitness. You'll know how to blood sugar stabilize with your nutrition, and how to keep the liver healthy. And those are things that are so powerful. You're going to know how to do a gut repair. We're going to be, looking at that as well for you.
And the other thing is the supplements. There's so many supplements that are out there, and people will do for me, you know, I have drawerfuls of supplements of things that I thought I needed along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you learned my blood and learned what I needed and to supplement, you were able to figure out which supplements I needed to help me, which were, I think I had a couple of my own that I already was taking,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just the basics like C and stuff. But the other ones that you've prescribed me, I've never even heard of them before.
Yeah.
And they treat exactly what I need.
Yeah, exactly.
So your knowledge in supplements is really, really powerful as well. You know, just not only the food, but it's so important to, because our food, I know that our ground is depleted in minerals, and I know that, you know, our foods are grown, you know, fast, and they don't quite have everything that they're supposed to have, or they have things that we don't want in them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we need some extra help with those micronutrients. The
they
micronutrients
do really well.
Are just as important as our macronutrients. We are made from the macronutrients, the fats, carbs, proteins, but we're also made from micronutrients, which are your vitamins, your minerals, your essential fatty acids, you know, that
Right.
So, and so we really absolutely need them. Yeah, for sure. And so that's, yeah, I love it. And we need to do it in the right ways and approach it in the right ways. And so, yeah, we're going to keep going here, Tracey. I'm so excited. I want to thank you for sharing the way that you have. And is there anything you want to leave the audience with? Like any kind of like a last kind of a thing that you might want to say, or a point?
Oh gosh.
Inspirational.
when you're not feeling so well, you don't need to run to the doctor. Many times you just need to call your nutritionist.
There you go.
The answer, God put it all on this earth, and we just need to know what it is that we're supposed to take, and we're not taught that in school. You know,
very true. Very true. Thank you for that, Tracey. All right, everyone, again, you know, feel free to reach out to me if you'd like. Again, I'm happy to get on and jump on a call with you if you feel like there's some issues that you really want to talk about, that you've been really struggling with. I'm happy to you know, provide some you know, time for you. So again, you can reach out to
and
Kelly.
Support your support, the emotional support, the mental support. It's really, in some people, for me, I don't have a problem overeating. I have a problem under eating.
Yeah.
But some people might have overeat. But anyway, bottom line is you keep me going on my foods, and you watch what I'm eating, and you correct if there's something not quite right, you correct it. Yeah. And that's really, really important, is getting that food down and
accountability like that. Yeah.
And having me do a food journal was so valuable, because now I look back and I say, oh, that's why I wasn't feeling so well. Oh, I should have done more of this. Or when you say, oh, where was your carb in that?
Yeah.
It really makes me think. So now I have all these ideas of how I'm going to make sure I get all three, you know, carb, protein, fat in each meal.
Beautiful. It's awesome.
But I wouldn't have thought that without you. So,
and once you start to get your groove on with that, it becomes literally a part of you. It's like, it's integrated, and just like it naturally happens, like riding a bike. And
people don't know that, you know, that you can't mix one kind of vegetable with another kind of fruit, or vice versa.
Exactly.
You're not going to learn unless you spend time with you.
Oh, thank you. And I've enjoyed every minute with you, I'll tell you. And again, everyone out there, thank you for listening. Thank you for taking interest. And again, feel free to go to kellyjeanwellness.com. You can reach out to me. You can pick up the phone call, and I'm happy to get on a call with you. We can schedule that time, and I would look forward to it. Meanwhile, everyone, have a wonderful, healthy, wonderful rest of your day, and take care. Tracey, thank you again.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.